Right. So today we're doing a deep dive on something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
From the 48 Laws of Power.
Definitely.
And this one is all about power dynamics.
Okay.
It's law number 1.
Gotcha.
Never outshine the master.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. And I think we can all relate to this in some way.
For sure.
Whether it's at work or, even in personal relationships.
Right.
It's basically saying that, you don't want to make the person in power feel threatened.
Yeah, you don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Exactly. And sometimes it's not even intentional, right?
No, not at all.
It's just that you're good at what you do.
You're just trying to do your job.
And you're enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But it can come across the wrong way.
Absolutely. And I think that's what this law is all about, like recognizing that just being good at your job isn't the whole picture. There's this whole other layer of like managing perceptions and understanding how your actions impact those around you.
Especially those above you.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who have the power to,
promote you or
give you a raise.
Or fire you.
Or, exactly.
So it's like a delicate balance.
It is a very delicate balance.
So how do we make this law work to our advantage?
Well, I think a big part of it is understanding the psychology of the person you're dealing with.
Right.
Like, are they someone who's very insecure?
Mm-hmm.
Do they need constant validation?
Right.
Or are they more confident and secure in their position?
Because I imagine this law is more relevant.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with an insecure boss.
100%.
Right. Like if you have a boss who's very confident and secure.
Right.
They're probably going to be happy.
Yeah, they're going to want to see you shine.
To see you succeed.
Yeah, they're going to see your success as their success.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you have a boss who's a little more on the insecure side, then you have to be a lot more careful.
So how do we do that?
So one thing that the book mentions is highlighting your boss's strengths. So finding ways to subtly point out their accomplishments.
Right.
And make them look good.
Without being like a brown noser.
Right, exactly. It's not about being fake. It's about recognizing their strengths and making sure that they feel appreciated.
So like, for example,
if
your boss gives a presentation and it's missing something, instead of saying like, oh, you forgot to mention this, you could say something like, building on your point, I think this would really add to it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, you're framing it as, I'm adding to your already great work as opposed to pointing out a flaw.
Right.
So it's all about framing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what about the hierarchy?
Yeah, so the book also talks about the importance of respecting the hierarchy and not stepping out of line.
Okay.
So even if you have what you think is a better idea, you don't want to just throw it out there and make your boss feel
like you're trying to undermine them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's more about finding a way to present your idea in a way that supports your boss's vision.
So aligning it with their goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you could say something like, I was thinking about your goal of X.
Right.
And I think this approach could really help us achieve that.
So you're not like, oh, I have a better idea.
Right.
You're like,
you're making it about their goals.
Yeah. How can I help you achieve your goal?
Yeah, exactly.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Now, what about if your boss is truly incompetent?
This is where it gets a little tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because if you follow this law to the letter, you might end up just enabling their incompetence.
Right.
But I don't think the answer is to just throw this law out the window.
Right.
I think it's more about finding a way to apply it in a modified way.
So how would we do that?
So I think it comes down to tact and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
So if you need to give your boss feedback, you want to do it in a way that's constructive and not threatening.
So focus on solutions, not criticisms.
Okay.
And try to frame things in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're being attacked.
Yeah, don't make it personal.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess ultimately this law is all about understanding.
Yeah.
The power dynamics exist.
They do.
And we need to be aware of them.
Absolutely.
And navigate them carefully.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not about being manipulative.
No.
It's about being smart.
It's about understanding the game.
Yeah, and playing the game well.
Exactly, and sometimes that means, not showing all your cards right away.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So for our listeners out there, I would say take a moment to think about the power dynamics in your own workplace.
For sure.
And see if you can identify those power dynamics.
Yeah, where are those subtle power struggles happening?
Exactly, and how can you use this law?
This law to your advantage.
To your advantage, and maybe even get ahead.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah, to succeed.
Succeed.
To thrive.
To thrive.
And to have good relationships.
Absolutely. It's not just about climbing to the top at any cost. It's about doing it in a way that's sustainable and ethical.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's a great deep dive
on
the 48 laws of power.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Law number 1, never outshine the master.
For sure.
I think we've all learned something today.
I think so, too.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.